From double overtime to penalty kicks right here, we saw it all in the semifinal round of the Mountain West Women's Soccer Championship, and it's the Broncos and Lobos who have secured their spot in the championship game on Saturday. New Mexico faced a tough Aggies team in a semifinals match that went to double overtime and saw the Lobos win 2-1. The Mountain West Newcomer of the Year, Zaria Catasigua, led the way for the Lobos and scored both goals in the match. Coach, heading into yesterday's game against the Aggies, you said it was going to be a lot of tactics and luck. You're able to walk away with another double overtime victory. How was your team able to do it?
Tactics and luck. Yeah, I mean, I think anyone could have won that game quite easily. I think Utah State's been very well coached and good all year, and I feel fortunate that we were able to get a win on them. But yeah, we need a little bit of luck, and I think Zaria to find some magic at the end of the game, and on to the finals we go. So certainly a great game that we felt very fortunate to get the W in.
You've preached all season to your team that whatever you do, you're going to do it together. What does your team collectively need to do tomorrow on both sides of the ball?
I mean, I think Boise State right now feels like they have some momentum going their way, to end the season the way they did and to come and win these two games. And I just thought their heart and their effort yesterday just was really obvious. And we have to play them on their home field. So I feel like we come into this game, despite the rankings, I think we're the underdog in the game. So for us, it's try to replenish and find ourselves and hope that, on the day we can find a way to get the win over them.
You said after the game against Utah State that it would be fun to play Boise State in this environment on their home field. It's happening. Yeah. What do you think that environment's going to be like tomorrow, and how will your team feed off of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think what Jim and Boise State have done here is exceptional. They've been such a good program for so many years, and I think if you want to call yourself a champion, you need to beat the best team, and without question, I think Boise State's been one of those this year. So to beat them on their home field, if we can get that done, I think that would be, a true championship, and it's the right way. It's the right way to have to play them in front of their home crowd, which I know will be huge in this great environment, and some really special players on their team. So we're gonna give it our best.
In dramatic fashion, Boise State upset the number 2 seed Fresno State by advancing on penalty kicks Thursday afternoon. Sydney Smith saved Kaylin Miller's PK, and freshman Michaela Justiniani sealed the deal on the 6th free kick. Coach, you said after the first game in the tournament, from the movie Gladiator, are you not entertained? Every match your team has played in this tournament has been entertaining. What did you learn about your team specifically in yesterday's game?
I think we're getting older by the second here. These kind of experiences are tough to replicate, and you can talk about them as much as you want to talk about them, but until you're in them, you'll never really learn as a player. And we've got a lot of young players that are learning a lot on the job. I was so impressed by some of the young guys and how they handled what was a really difficult opponent who had a great system of play against us. It was difficult for us to overwhelm. And then the moments when you get into overtime and PKs, it's so gut-wrenching and so nerve-wracking that they handled those things brilliantly.
One of the key things you talked about heading into yesterday's matchup was being able to win the midfield. You go up tomorrow against one of the top offensive teams in the conference in New Mexico. How do you stop them and their key players in Zaria Catasigua and Jaden Edwards?
Well, I think we have to systematically make sure that we're organised correctly against them, and that's going to take some moments at the start of the game to see which system they're actually in, and also to look at our players and say, from a physical standpoint, how are we able to operate on the day, and try and put them in a position of success, and that's the main thing.
You've got some of the greatest players of all time in Bronco history on your team, as you've said. What would it mean to be able to walk away with a championship tomorrow and to do it with this team?
Yeah, I think, it's the game rewarding them for what they've given to it. But for me, they'll be champions regardless. They're such great people, such great students, such great members of our community. When you look at people like Sydney and Aubrey, they were Broncos before they became Broncos. These are homegrown talent kids. I think the process has been our focus the whole time, and the reward at the end would be lovely. Another championship. Both of those guys have already got a couple of rings. But for me, just to see the game reward them would be the best part.
When these two teams met in the regular season, it was New Mexico who came out on top 1-0. The championship match will be on Saturday, November 6th at 12 p.m. Mountain Time at the Boas Soccer Complex. The finale will be streamed live on the Mountain West Network. In Boise, I'm Bridget Howard.